All right. Well, Tanima, voting began about an hour ago, and it's going to be very interesting to see the voter turnout again this time around, given the fact that we have Delhi in the fray, we have Gurgaon in the fray, so key urban areas that are voting today. And of course, we'll also keep a close watch on the voting percentages all the way up in Anantnag. Nazir was speaking with people earlier who said that this time they are not voting in the shadow of the gun. They're not fearing stone pelting at polling stations, etc., which has been the norm. So it's going to be very interesting to see, Tanima, how this entire battle plays out today in terms of the key constituents and, of course, the voters, whether they come out in large numbers or not.
Right, and as we mentioned that it's 58 seats, just to recap for our viewers that the election will be completed in 486 of the 543 Lok Sabha seats. In fact, this phase is crucial for the NDA, which has to keep its score intact to meet the 400 par target that it set. In 2019, in these 58 seats, BJP alone had won 40 of these constituencies, and which is why it's a crucial phase. Of course, for the opposition as well, but the BJP would want to keep its numbers intact.
Well, absolutely. The BJP defending hard on those seats. And as far as the BJP is concerned, remember it was a 7-on-7 in Delhi. It was a 10-on-10 in Haryana. Can they actually keep up with those numbers this time around is going to be very crucial. Because remember, conceding even one seat in any of these key battles is not going to augur well as far as the optics are concerned. And, like we promised, our team of reporters joining us from key areas. Maria Shakil joining us from the Nirman Bhavan in the national capital, where there'll be a lot of VVIPs casting their vote. Ishika Verma joining us from East Delhi. Aishwarya Jain joining us from Northeast Delhi. Maria, over to you first. Break it down for our viewers. What's at stake as far as Delhi is concerned? It's a prestige battle in these 7 seats. And this time around, with the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, coming together, it's a formidable opposition as far as the BJP is concerned, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely, and it's a bellwether state. So since 1989, we have seen that trend that whosoever has won Delhi or has one significant chunk of those 7 seats has, ruled India or governed India. So 2014, BJP won all 7 seats. 2019, again, it was 7-on-7 for the BJP. Similarly, Haryana is again a bellwether state. For the BJP, what is at stake? They went in for that complete overhaul where they changed 6 of the 7, sitting MPs. Only Manoj Tiwari, who's a candidate of the BJP and also a sitting MP, is being refielded. But all others have, their newer faces which have come in. And there has been a significant generational shift as well. So Sushma Swaraj's daughter, late Sushma Swaraj's daughter, Bansuri Swaraj, is a candidate. So the BJP is trying to send that message that they are looking for fresh faces, even as they went for that, replacing somebody like even Dr. Harshvardhan, former Delhi Chief Minister and also former Union Health Minister as well. So the kind of, carpet bombing of sorts that has been done of big faces, the Prime Minister himself doing heavy lifting in Delhi and also in Haryana, sending that message that this is not it's not a local election. On the other hand, you have the opposition, which is the combined opposition this time of the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. But Rishika and Tanima, look, the challenge is huge. In 2019, the overall the voter percentage or the polling, the number of votes share that the BJP got was 57%. So nearing 60%. So even if these two parties come together, they reach somewhere around 37 to 38% only. Until and unless there is a shift completely from the BJP to these parties, they may not really make significant gains. But again, when we look at the opposition strategy, they did create some kind of flutter or buzz in the poll campaign, particularly with Kanhaiya Kumar being fielded against Manoj Tiwari. And on other seats also, it's the tried and tested formula of the opposition. Old faces largely, they haven't really gone for much experiment. But what is at stake, this is the national capital, this is the capital of India, and that is the reason why all eyes will be on if the people of Delhi, will they display the voters' apathy that we have seen in most cosmopolitan cities, or will they realize the responsibility they have as citizens and come out and cast their vote? This is Nirman Bhavan. polling station. This is where all the VIPs will be coming in. We can expect Sonia Gandhi, the former Congress president, and also the other former Congress president, Rahul Gandhi, who will be coming here in an hour or so. But the dichotomy that we were discussing, Rishika, in some just a few minutes back, also will be at play. In fact, those early voters were largely those officers or class 4 officers, or those who live in the quarters of these big bungalows which are there in Lutyens.
Yes.
So they wanted to really ensure that they are there as
Right.
early voters, cast their vote, and they have gone back. So the early voters have largely been those, while the VVIPs would be arriving a little late, the early voters have been their staffs.
Yes, we did see S. Jaishankar though casting his vote. I think
Right.
sharp at 7 a.m. we got those visuals, if I'm not wrong. But
Right.
I just want to point out here, very interesting. Atishi's visuals just came in. She's casting her vote there. It's going to be very interesting how this battle plays out, Tanima, for the Aam Aadmi Party. Whether there's a sympathy wave against Kejriwal or not. It's going to be
Or
very
whether the
interesting.
Maliwal case will actually be the one which is on top of people's minds. Let me also go across to my colleague Aishwarya, who's standing by in Northeast Delhi. Aishwarya, it's being seen as the seat which is the Bihari Babu's clash. It's Kanhaiya Kumar versus Manoj Tiwari. The Purvanchali votes which matter in this key constituency, and those are some of the, those voters are the ones which BJP and Congress both are trying to tap into.
Well, certainly, and as we know, out of 7 Bharatiya Janata Party candidates in the national capital, only Manoj Tiwari has been retained by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and he had been given a ticket from Northeast Delhi. Against Manoj Tiwari is Kanhaiya Kumar, again a Congress leader who comes from Bihar, and a lot of things were said by the Bharatiya Janata Party against Kanhaiya Kumar, as his old comments were reflected again by the Bharatiya Janata Party, his tukre comments allegedly, and also on the other side it has been circulated by the Bharatiya Janata Party how he spoke about the Ram Mandir issue as well. But a key contest in Northeast, certainly, because a lot of voters hails from Purvanchal region, and therefore the reason Manoj Tiwari had been given ticket from the Northeast constituency. Currently I am over here at Manoj Tiwari's residence. Certainly it was told to us that he came late night around 4 to 5 p.m. He was there in his region, and he was looking at what sort of preparations are there as far as the war room which is being prepared specifically for Northeast Delhi constituency, because the tough battle between both of them. Certainly this time Aam Aadmi Party and Congress had fielded a joint candidate, and it would be a joint vote share for them, and therefore the reason perhaps a tough contest is what we can witness from there. But Manoj Tiwari seems very confident in the recent past few weeks when he was campaigning in the entire area. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi did 2 rallies in the national capital, and in that particular rally where Manoj Tiwari's constituency was showcased, it was around 1 lakh people who came in that particular rally, and got a huge support over there as well. A very important one as far as Delhi is concerned, but it remains to be seen that who will win on June 4th as far as Northeast is concerned. But if we talk about the entire national capital, then certainly it would be 5 to 6 seats where Bharatiya Janata Party is very closely looking at. Whether this time it would be again 7 out of 7 is something that remains to be seen.
Very interesting, because like you said, Manoj Tiwari is the only sitting member of parliament that the BJP is actually put forth again, and he's a 2-time sitting MP. And like Tanima said, it's a battle for the Biharis as far as this key constituency is concerned, and it was a very interesting strategy as far as the BJP is concerned to sort of unseat 6 of those 7 sitting MPs. BJP has done this. Even if you look at what they've done in Haryana, it's been very interesting. Regime change at the top. Manohar Lal Khattar unseated as Chief Minister, contesting from Karnal. We'll get you an update from there as well. We just got visuals just a short while ago from Bhubaneswar, where VK Pandian was in fact voting. He's of course the right-hand man as far as Naveen Patnaik is concerned, touted to be his successor. It's an interesting battle in Orissa today as well. 6 of the 21 seats voting there. We'll get you more updates from Orissa. 42 of the 147 seats, in fact, are polling in the state polls in Orissa as well. But let's go across now to Ishika. Ishika, where are you at the moment? And no queues behind you. That's not very nice to see.
Well, in fact, certainly we were waiting for you to come to us. But certainly people have voted and they are leaving. But early morning, we did see a lot of senior citizens. In fact,
All right, we seem to have had some audio issues there, so we were supposed to go back to Ishika. We'll go back to her in just a moment, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in Delhi this time around, Tanmay. Whether there is any kind of a sympathy factor against Arvind Kejriwal, the fact that he managed to get that interim bail to sort of put in that. All right, I'm told Mr. Pandian is in fact speaking at the moment. Let's just listen in.
गणतंत्र सबुठु बड़ा पर्व रे आपण माने शामिल हुअंतु आपण मानकर मतामत दियंतु जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ everyone should participate in the festival of democracy and exercise their vote. You have to be part of a vibrant democracy. India is known for its vibrant democracy. Let's all join together and increase the voting percentage and come in large numbers and cast your votes. Thank you.
You casted your vote also today.
I am very happy to exercise my choice.
Sir, what is the narrative like you come as a common man and you voted in a auto and stood in line, waited for
No, everyone should, in democracy and judiciary, everyone is equal. So one has to be, it's better that one does like a common man. The auto association had requested me. They are our brothers, so I came in auto.
So now VK Pandian is a common voter?
Of course, everyone, समस्त common voter. Voting रे तो कहारा ऊपर नीचे नहीं ना, समस्त समान. गणतंत्र रे प्रत्येक जनकर गोटे वोट ही होची समस्त समान समस्त आसंतु बहुत संख्या राशि की आपनकर निज वोट टाक दियंतु एंजॉय दिस फेस्टिवल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी जय जगन्नाथ.
Right, let's go across to Delhi Minister Atishi now, who's speaking.
फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस का उल्लंघन होगा, तो हम ये उम्मीद करते हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन इसका संज्ञान लेगा और इलेक्शन कमीशन ऐसी किसी भी साजिश को जरूर रोकेगा।
मैम एलजी बोल रहे हैं कि ये तो झूठे आरोप हैं और जो आरोप लगाए हैं आम आदमी पार्टी ने, इस पर कार्रवाई वो करेंगे आगे।
देखिए, आज पता चल जाएगा, आज पोलिंग का दिन है, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा। ऑलरेडी कुछ एरियाज से ऐसी खबरें आ रही हैं कि कुछ एरियाज में बहुत दूर बैरिकेड्स लगाए जा रहे हैं। तो अगर एलजी साहब ने ऐसा नहीं किया है, दिल्ली पुलिस ने ऐसा नहीं किया है, तो हमें भी पता चल जाएगा कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। लेकिन अगर पता चलता है कि दिल्ली के एरियाज में जहां पर इंडिया गठबंधन के स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड्स हैं, वहां पर वोटिंग स्लो हो रही है, वहां पर पुलिस ज़्यादा परेशान कर रही है, तो फिर हम चाहेंगे कि इलेक्शन कमीशन इसमें ज़रूर इंटरवीन करे, क्योंकि फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस लोकतंत्र का आधार है।
Right, there, Delhi Minister Atishi, they're speaking on polling day and the Delhi LG versus AAP dynamic once again coming into the play, Rishika, while she was talking over there.
Well, absolutely. In fact, she addressed a press conference, Tanima, if you remember, about, all right, I believe Vedant is trying to get in a word from her. Let's listen in.
देखिए, मैं भी अपना वोट डाल के आ रही हूँ और मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि सभी दिल्ली वासी और देश के हिस्सों में जहाँ पर भी वोटिंग हो रही है, वहाँ पर सभी लोग आएंगे।
All right, Vedant, if you can hear us at the moment. Vedant, if you can hear us at the moment.
That's right, Rishika.
Yes.
In fact, Atishi has just cast a vote, and she is at Kalkaji here, and she's just cast a vote, and she's live with us. I will try and get in a word from her, but of course, it's been a high-stakes battle. Remember, all top ministers of the Aam Aadmi Party have been campaigning extensively, not just here in Delhi, but across the country. And for the Aam Aadmi Party, it's a prestige battle, certainly, because it's not been able to dent the BJP's prospects yet as far as the Lok Sabha is concerned. Kalka ji, of course, here, you know, it's a crucial constituency, considered a stronghold of the Aam Aadmi Party as far as the assembly is concerned. And Atishi is live with us. You've just cast your vote, and it's been quite a campaign for the Aam Aadmi Party. You've been campaigning extensively across the country. Do you sense a sympathy factor for Arvind Kejriwal, not just in Delhi but across the country?
100%. I think people are very clear that they don't want to see India turn from a democracy into a dictatorship. They don't want to see opposition leaders being jailed just before the elections. They don't want to see India become one leader, one party, one leader kind of country. And I think that the people of Delhi and the people of India are going to cast their vote against that.
And you know, your own constituency, we've seen a host of issues, from the landfill issue to cleanliness, but these are national elections. You know, do you see this as a battle between Modi's guarantees and Arvind Kejriwal's guarantees?
I see this as a battle between Modi's jumlas and Arvind Kejriwal's guarantees. Because after 10 years of BJP's rule, their major promises, which were of reducing inflation, their major promises of bringing 2 crore jobs every year, their major promises of bringing black money from across the country and giving 15 lakhs to everyone, they themselves have said they were jumlas. They themselves, in fact, all of these promises are now even being removed from their manifesto this time. Whereas on the other hand, you have an Arvind Kejriwal who gives 24/7 electricity, you have an Arvind Kejriwal who gives electricity free of cost, has high quality government schools, provides free healthcare, gives women free bus rides. So I think the difference is very clear to see.
And you know, despite Arvind Kejriwal's interim bail, the optics, many would say, have not been in the favour of the Aam Aadmi Party, with the entire Swati Maliwal episode, and you know, of course, the long-drawn battle with the LG as well, and new cases sort of being brought up. Would you concede that the optics perhaps have not been entirely favourable for the Aam Aadmi Party in the run-up to the polls?
The people of Delhi know exactly what is going on. They see the fact that every time elections happen and every time it is clear that Aam Aadmi Party is winning, Bharatiya Janata Party comes up with some bizarre conspiracies. If you remember, in 2015, they came up with this so-called case of Hawala at midnight. Yes. In 2022, when Aam Aadmi Party was winning elections in Punjab, it was said that Arvind Kejriwal wants to carve out Khalistan, wants to become the Prime Minister of Khalistan. So people are now aware that when the Bharatiya Janata Party is losing, they come up with desperate conspiracies and try and defame Aam Aadmi Party.
Right. And my last question, very quickly, your allegations against the Lieutenant Governor. What do you have to say about that?
We have very clear information that yesterday the Lieutenant Governor held a meeting where police forces from across the city were called, and they were told that the parts of the city which are India strongholds, their voting has to be slowed down.
All right, so the Lieutenant Governor has responded to that, so that flashpoint playing out, Rishika, in the national capital, high stakes battle, and Arvind Kejriwal himself will be casting his vote in a short while from now.
All right, so you know, it's very interesting to see the fact that this battle plays on even on polling day. There are allegations and counter allegations flying thick and fast. Atishi there speaking with Vedant on a whole host of issues. But you know, while that battle plays out on the ground, there are prayers that are being offered by the two-time MP Manoj Tiwari. We just got visuals of him offering prayers. He's of course one of those MPs who's been you know, given a ticket again, as opposed to the 6 others who've been unseated. He's taking on Kanhaiya Kumar. We'll come back to you, Vedant, in just a bit, Tanima, but let's shift our focus also to Uttar Pradesh. It's a key contest in Uttar Pradesh as well.
And it's a battleground state. As we know, there are 14 seats in Uttar Pradesh which are voting today. In fact, my colleague Tanishq is joining us from Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh. Prayagraj is, of course, formerly known as Allahabad, one of the key constituencies in Uttar Pradesh. Tanishq, what is the voters' mood on ground there?
Well, of course, you know, under Prayagraj district, there are 2 Lok Sabha constituencies. One is Allahabad and second is, of course, Lalganj. In Allahabad, it was Rita Bahuguna Joshi who won in 2019, and this time it is Neeraj Tripathi versus India Block's Ujjwal Raman Singh. I would like to show you the scenes here at one of the polling stations in Allahabad. But I would also like to talk to some of the voters here, the people of Allahabad. आपका नाम?
परिमला आचार्य।
तो इस बार आप इलाहाबाद वोट दे रही हैं, क्या आपके मुद्दे हैं वोट देने से पहले? आप स्थानीय मुद्दों पे वोट दे रही हैं या फिर आपके लिए राष्ट्रीय मुद्दे भी हैं?
नहीं, मुझे तो देश के लिए, मतलब जो अच्छा काम करेगा और जो देश के लिए करेगा उसको ही मैं वोट दूंगी।
अच्छा, आपको क्या लगता है देश के लिए, जैसे क्या और क्या इम्पोर्टेंट इश्यूज है, बेरोजगारी, महंगाई, ये सब इश्यूज हैं आपके लिए, या फिर आपको आपके अलावा और भी कोई इशू है?
देखिए ये सब तो महंगाई वगैरह तो सभी आते रहते हैं जाते रहते हैं, ये तो, लेकिन देश को लेके चलना बहुत बड़ी बात होती है, सबके साथ विचार मिलना ये भी होती है, वो मोदी जी में है।
अच्छा, तो आपको कह रहे हैं मोदी जी की गारंटी जो
गारंटी है, उन्हें आना ही चाहिए, क्योंकि बहुत कुछ ऐसे बाकी वो कर सकते हैं। बाकी सबका तो मैं नहीं बता सकती।
जी जी जी, आपने दे दिया वोट?
जी जी।
आपका नाम?
मैथिली शरण सिन्हा।
आपके क्या मुद्दे हैं वोट देने से?
मेरे मुद्दे हैं जय श्री राम, सनातन धर्म की रक्षा होगा, मेरा राष्ट्र खुद अपने आप में सुरक्षित हो जाएगा।
राम मंदिर आपके लिए?
We'll come back to you, but I believe PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti, who's also a candidate in Anantnag seat today, is speaking. Listen in.
वहाँ मशीनें बंद की गई हैं, आप गढ़ोल में मशीन बंद है और भी कई जगह पे मशीन को खराब करने की शिकायत आ रही है, सिर्फ महबूबा मुफ्ती को रोकने के लिए। मैं एलजी साहब से कहना चाहती हूँ, अगर आपको मुझसे इतना डर लगता है महबूबा मुफ्ती से, मुझे सीधे कहना था मैं इलेक्शन ही नहीं लड़ती। चलिए,
क्या एश्योरेंस आपको मिली पुलिस की तरफ से, क्या एश्योरेंस मिली मैम? पुलिस की तरफ से क्या एश्योरेंस मिली?
Right, so Mehbooba Mufti there, the PDP candidate and the PDP chief, of course, but contesting from the Anantnag seat. They're speaking to the reporters and essentially alleging that there is some sort of there are some blockades going on taking place over there.
Speaking, and she's holding some kind of a protest. Let's try and see what's happening there. A bit of chaos there in Anantnag. It's one of the key seats that is going to the polls today. Alright, so she's alleging at the moment, Mehbooba Mufti, the PDP chief and the candidate from Anantnag, is alleging that there is some kind of an issue with the voting process. Voters aren't being allowed to vote.
There's
high
some
drama
sort of
there
a sit-down
that is in fact
protest
taking
that
place.
she's doing.
Yes, there's high drama there taking place. But let's just break it down for our viewers. What is at stake as far as Anantnag is concerned in this election? It is a triangular contest. Mia Altaf of the National Conference, backed by the India Bloc, is the candidate, and the BJP is backing an Apna Party candidate. And we were just talking to voters earlier. Tonima and Nazir was speaking with several voters who actually said that this time around the election's been peaceful. I just want to say the allegations that Atishi is making, the allegations that Mehbooba Mufti are making on national television don't really augur well as far as encouraging voters to come out and vote is concerned. I mean, whether it is Atishi alleging the whole barricades issue, that they've been placed too far away, so there'll be longer queues, longer wait lines, or whether it's Mehbooba Mufti who's alleging fault lines as far as the voting process is concerned, it doesn't augur well, because it essentially means that you're making the common person lose faith in the ease of the process.
Right. We'll of course have to wait and see what the other side also has to say. But back to back, we can see two leaders there making allegations in terms of the voting process. Right. So let's go back to the national capital now, where Manoj Tiwari, the Northeast Delhi candidate, is speaking right now of the BJP.
जो पहले आया था उससे
चलिए, उत्तर पूर्वी दिल्ली से बीजेपी के उम्मीदवार मनोज तिवारी परीक्षा का दिन है, 2 महीने लगातार।
That's Manoj Tiwari there. He is in fact speaking with the media. He hasn't voted yet, Tonima. In fact, we had visuals of him praying. Two-time MP Manoj Tiwari, refielded from the Northeast constituency, the only sitting member of parliament of the Bharatiya Janata Party who's been given yet another chance. All 6 of the 7 have been unseated. It's a very interesting battle that's playing out in the national capital. We'll get you all that and more on the other side of what's going to be a very short break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Now, there's single-phase elections in Haryana as well today, Rishika. Just like Delhi, BJP, in fact, had won all 10 seats in Haryana back in 2019. Now, this time, the BJP has, of course, changed its strategy. It's fielded former Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar from Karnal. And there's, of course, all 10 seats where we have seen voting underway today.
Well, absolutely. And Gurpreet Singh Cheena, our reporter, joins us live from Karnal at the moment. Gurpreet, you know, it's two parts to my question, because it's a very interesting contest in Haryana this time around. The BJP, of course, you know, banking on the fact that they won 10 on 10. They replaced Manohar Lal Khattar last minute with an OBC faced chief minister. But 6 out of the 10 candidates of the BJP are actually Congress turncoats. So that says something very interesting about this election. Also, I want to ask you, as somebody who's got your ears trained on the ground, how much of an issue do you think the wrestlers' agitation, the farmer stir, the Agniveer issue, how much of a poll issue are these very key sort of agitations or key movements going to be in this Lok Sabha election?
Well, yes, of course, the issues which you have discussed, these are the main political issue, and this is the main issue which is being discussed at every nook and corner. Right now, first of all, I'll request my Vijay to show that voting is already underway in this Kashwa village from where we are reporting at this point of time. A few minutes back, the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, who is the candidate from the BJP, he has just come here and checked all the polling stations here. So we were also chasing him. And if we can talk about the Congress and BJP political equation, we have seen the BJP says the farmer protest, wrestlers issue is not an issue at all, whereas the Congress says it shows that how there is a resentment against the ruling party. We also posed this question to the Chief Minister, the former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, on this issue. He says, I don't have any challenges, and the clarification I have already given on the farmer protest and other protests. But at the same time, this is the main issue which is being raised by the people of all the constituency in Haryana. Some of the voters are with us. We will also try to talk to them and we will see what is their response. सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन ये है कि फार्मर का प्रोटेस्ट या रेसलर्स का इशू कितना बड़ा इशू है यहाँ?
सर यहाँ पे ये छोटे इशू हैं, मेन है देश का। हमारा देश एक ऐसे नेतृत्व के अधीन है जहां हमारी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे इतना ज़्यादा छवि सुधरी है। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे हम प्रत्येक भारतीय होने पे गर्व है सभी को, और कहते हैं कि मोदी है तो संभव है।
तो इनको लगता है क्या लगता है जो रेसलर्स के मुद्दे हैं, फार्मर्स के मुद्दे हैं, वो कहाँ स्टैंड कर रहे हैं?
देखो, मैं भी जिम्मेदार आदमी, ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ। हम फसल बेचते थे, मन 1 महीने में पैसे आए, वो कह देता था 8-15 दिन में पैसे आते हैं। ऐसा समाधान हो गया, सरकार ने ऐसा बढ़िया काम कर दिया, 24 घंटे में खाते में पैसे आ जाते हैं। इससे बढ़िया जिम्मेदार के लिए। और यहाँ काछुए के अंदर आग लगी थी, जिम्मेदारों को फसल जल गई थी, विदिन मंथ उनके खाते में पैसे दिवाने का काम मनोहर लाल जी ने करा।
पर किसानों का प्रोटेस्ट है या रेसलर्स का प्रोटेस्ट है, क्या वो हरियाणा की राजनीति में कोई भी इम्पैक्ट?
नहीं सर, राजनीति का उस चीज़ से दूर दूर तक कोई वास्ता नहीं है। किसान जो आज भी धरातल पे अपने खेत में है, प्रोटेस्ट में बिल्कुल नहीं है। प्रोटेस्ट एक किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का एक एजेंडा है, वो सिर्फ उसी के बेस पर काम कर रहा है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी यहाँ 10 के 10 सीट लोकसभा की और एक
तो ये हम एक वुमेन वोटर्स भी हैं, उनसे भी बात करेंगे। तो माता जी, क्या मुद्दा है जो दिमाग में है कि क्या इश्यूज है? क्योंकि रेसलर्स है, फार्मर का मुद्दा है, क्या है
इसके बारे में क्या बता सकते हैं हम? राजनीति है, कोई गंदा खेल खेल रहे हैं, कोई कुछ भी उनको भड़का रहे हैं। वैसे मोदी जी ने जो काम किया है वो तो पूरी दुनिया को पता है, और जितना काम मोदी जी ने किया इतने कोई भी सरकार कर नहीं सकती।
So well, if we can talk about their point of view, they are saying these are the regional muddas, but what we are considering at the national level. So let's see after the results, things will be more clear. As of now, it seems undercurrent is already there in various pockets of Haryana.
Right.
Back to studio.
Right, Gurpreet, thank you so much for joining us. I'm also joined by my colleague Ranveer from Azamgarh. Now, Azamgarh in Uttar Pradesh is one of the key constituencies which is in the fray today. In 2022, in the by-polls, Nirhua, also known as Dinesh Lal Yadav, in fact, had won the seat in 2022 in the by-polls there. And Ranveer, so is he the clear front runner as far as Azamgarh is concerned? Azamgarh, of course, has a lot of other important issues as well. At one point of time, it was known as the terror hub of Uttar Pradesh, but there has been work done, of course, over the years in order to remove that tag from this constituency.
Obviously, Azamgarh is very prominent politically, as well as some other issues are also concerned with this seat. I am standing outside Nirahua's residence, official, this is election office also. And if you talk about Azamgarh, Azamgarh is key constituency, and it was a bastion of Samajwadi Party because former Samajwadi Party chief, late Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, was MP from this seat in 2014, and in 2019 Akhilesh Yadav won election of the parliamentary constituency Azamgarh. So when in 2022 Akhilesh Yadav decided to contest from Karhal seat, and he left this Azamgarh Lok Sabha constituency. Then the bypoll happened, and BJP candidate Dinesh Lal Yadav Nirahua won this seat, and that the Samajwadi Party is bastion. So this time a clear fight between Samajwadi Party candidate Dharmendra Yadav and BJP's Dinesh Lal Yadav Nirahua. So both these leaders are claiming that this time the equations are different, and BJP claims that the people, the voters of Azamgarh will again select and elect Nirahua, while Samajwadi Party is claiming that this time Samajwadi Party regained that vote percentage because Muslim face of Azamgarh, who was in fray on BSP ticket, he is in Samajwadi Party now. So Dharmendra Yadav, he is claiming that this time the voters have decided to vote for Samajwadi Party because of corruption, because of caste census, because of so many other issues raised by the India Alliance. So Azamgarh, the voters are coming outside their home, and today the voting will be occur. So see, Dinesh Lal Yadav Nirahua is all set to visit some polling booths in Azamgarh, and Dharmendra Yadav is visiting continuously at different polling booths.
We'll also try and get a word from voters in Azamgarh as to what the key issues are this time around. But as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, we're also looking at what's going to happen in Allahabad, which is a very interesting constituency, as well as Sultanpur, where Menaka Gandhi is contesting. But let's go across. Prabhakar is also joining us. Prabhakar, will come to you in just a moment. Aishwarya has one of the sitting MPs who's been given a ticket by the BJP here, Manoj Tiwari. Let's listen in.
Well, certainly Manoj Tiwari is the only one who is being retained by the Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, we'll be joined by Manoj Tiwari in a short while from here on, because he has to cast his vote as well. He has to leave his residence, but he travelled all night. Manoj Tiwari ji is with me. Manoj ji, well, certainly we'll speak to him in a short while, but from here on, he will be casting his vote. Manoj Tiwari ji will be casting his vote in Yamuna Vihar, but certainly, as he was speaking to us a short while back, he clearly stated that he was there in his entire region, and he clearly had stated that the people are very enthusiastic as far as his constituency is concerned. He is up against Kanhaiya Kumar of the Congress Party, a joint candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress Party as far as the India Alliance is concerned, and this is going to be very crucial constituency, because the Purvanchal vote is something that is being looked upon by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and therefore he has been retained. Certainly a very high-profile seat as far as
he's a two-time MP. Aishwarya, let's not forget, he's a two-time MP who's seeking a third term from a place like Delhi, the northeast constituency of Delhi. He's pitted against Kanhaiya Kumar. So like you said, battle for Biharis. But what's also interesting to note about this particular candidate, the sitting member of parliament, and one of the reasons why he's been given a ticket is A, because of the kind of connect and appeal he has with people, Tanima, and B, also let's not forget, he has polled above 50% of the votes last time around, and his claim to fame is that he defeated Sheila Dikshit. So, whatever the optics as far as Manoj Tiwari may be, he is a heavyweight as far as the BJP is concerned. Aishwarya?
Well, certainly, and that's why the reason Bharatiya Janata Party retained Manoj Tiwari from Delhi, the only MP who has been retained by the Bharatiya Janata Party, a two-time MP himself, and who had a very large cadre of the Bihar voters, the Purvanchal voters specifically in Northeast constituency, and therefore the reason perhaps when we spoke to him earlier, he clearly stated that the voters are completely voting in favor of development, as according to him, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had directly been the figure who had reached out to the people. In fact, it was also stated by the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party that Manoj Tiwari has done tremendous work in his region as well. Remember, it was Gautam Gambhir in 2019 who won for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Aishwarya, we're going to come back to you. Do try and get a word from Manoj Tiwari. It's going to be very interesting what he says. He's made made, Tanima, I have to say, several faux pas in interviews that have gone viral on social media lately. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says. But let's shift our focus to Bihar. Okay, we do have him finally on our mic. Let's listen in.
पॉलिटिकल करियर का एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जाम है, आज आपका परीक्षा है। वैसे तो हर दिन चुनौतियां होती हैं, लेकिन आज की चुनौती, आज की परीक्षा को किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
आज बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है, मन बहुत सकारात्मक है। मोर देन 2014, मोर देन 2019, टुडे इन 2024, मतलब मन जो है ना, ऐसा मैं पूजा कर रहा था तो मुझे बहुत सकारात्मक भाव लग रहा था। कई मीडिया के कैमरे वहाँ आ गए, मुझे एहसास ही नहीं हुआ। मैं अपनी माँ विंध्यवासिनी, माँ कालका देवी, उनकी पूजा में लगा था, भोलेनाथ की पूजा में लगा था, और जय श्री राम का मन में भाव गूंज रहा था। और आते ही जैसे भगवान सूर्य से साक्षात्कार हुआ, बहुत सकारात्मक तरंगे तैर रही हैं। हमें लगता है कि आज मतदाताओं के मन में भारत के विकास की रफ्तार है और नरेंद्र मोदी जी को 400 पार करने के लिए दिल्ली भी बेकरार है।
नॉर्थ ईस्ट दिल्ली में दो बिहारियों की लड़ाई है। एक तरफ कन्हैया कुमार हैं, एक तरफ आप हैं। आपने उस रीजन में काफ़ी टाइम बताया। कल रात को आप 3 या 4 बजे घर लौटे हैं और आज सुबह अब आप बोल रहे हैं कि सुबह 5 बजे से लोग उत्साहित हैं उस जगह पर वोट करने के लिए। क्या कुछ दिमाग में वोटर्स के है?
देखिए, कन्हैया कुमार जैसे लोगों को बिहार का कह के न बिहार का अपमान न करें। वो भारत के टुकड़े टुकड़े करने वाले लोग हैं। बिहार कभी ऐसे लोगों से संबंध नहीं रहता। बिहार तो भारत माता की जय के साथ खड़ा रहता है। बिहार कभी भी भारत की सेना को गाली नहीं देता। बिहार तो रोज सवेरे हमारा युवा दौड़ लगाता है कि हमें भारत की सेना में जाना है। बिहार के लोग कभी भी अर्धसैनिक बलों की शहादत पे जश्न नहीं मनाते। ऐसे कन्हैया कुमार को बिहार से जोड़ना, मैं समझता हूँ बहुत बड़ा अपमान होगा बिहार के लोगों का। ये वो लोग हैं जो महिषासुर को मानते हैं, दुर्गा जी को नहीं मानते। ये वो लोग हैं जो बहन बेटियों को छेड़ते हैं, जुर्माना भी होता है इनके ऊपर। इसलिए कृपा करके ये चुनाव भारत माता की जय वर्सेस भारत के टुकड़े टुकड़े करने वाले लोगों के बीच,
right.
ये राम प्रेमियों वर्सेस राम द्रोहियों के बीच।
Right, so that was, of course, Aishwarya there speaking to Manoj Tiwari, the incumbent MP of BJP from Northeast Delhi. They're sounding confident. Let's also turn our focus now to Bihar, where Prabhakar, my colleague, is standing by in Siwan. And there's a triangular contest in Siwan this time around, Prabhakar. But who has the edge?
See, there are 8 Lok Sabha constituencies which are going to poll today in this 6th phase of Lok Sabha polls in Bihar. But all eyes would be on Siwan. Siwan is witnessing a very interesting triangular contest. You have a candidate from the NDA side, you have the candidate from the India Alliance side, but you have Hina Sahab in fray. And Hina Sahab happens to be the widow of Shahabuddin, Muhammad Shahabuddin. He was not only a founder of RJD, but also a very stalwart leader out here in this particular region. So let's talk to the voters. See, the good news, the beautiful images coming from Siwan is that the temperature is soaring high, but still you have voters queuing at the polling station. So very reassuring images, I would say. ये बताइए कि आप जब वोट देते हैं तो आप क्या दिल्ली में देख के, दिल्ली के कैंडिडेट को देख के वोट देते हैं कि जो यहाँ आपके कैंडिडेट्स खड़े हैं उनको देख के वोट देते हैं? मुद्दा क्या होता है?
मेरा एक्चुअली मुद्दा ये होता है कि जो यहाँ पे जो हमारे लिए जो सफिशिएंट, जो हमारी बात को अपने सांसद भवन में जो रख पाए, मैं उसको देख के ही मैं वोट देता हूँ। मैं एक्चुअली सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को देख के मैं वोट नहीं देता। यहाँ जो है अपने इस लेवल पे जो सिवान डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे जो हमारी बातों को जो आगे रख सके।
आप बताइए, आप जब मुद्दा क्या होता है, आप जब डिसाइड?
हमारा मुद्दा शिक्षा का होता है, रोजगार का होता है कि हमें रोजगार मिले, शिक्षा मिले, अच्छी शिक्षा मिले। उसके
तो ये जो शिक्षा रोजगार की ये बात कर रहे हैं, ये कौन देगा शिक्षा रोजगार?
हमारी सरकार देंगी।
So basically they are divided here. They are all youth here. They are all students. They are all youngsters, and they are saying that though the education and the local development issues are on their core agenda, but still there are many who says that they look towards Delhi before they casting their vote, because they understand that this is a Lok Sabha poll. So people clearly divided. But interestingly, Siwan would be one of the very interesting contests as far as the Bihar is concerned, as far as the 40 Lok Lok Sabha seats of Bihar is concerned, and it might actually throw up a surprise as well.
Well, absolutely. 8 of the 40 polling today, polls in 24 of those seats done. And it's a hard-fought contest this time around as far as Bihar is concerned. Prabhakar, break it down for us. What's the bigger picture as far as Bihar is concerned? You know, it was only one seat that the BJP lost in the last election in Bihar.
See, Bihar in 2019, NDA had 39 seats out of 40, so they have to defend the numbers. That's a big challenge for NDA to defend the numbers. They have Nitish Kumar as their alliance partners, and they are contesting on all 40 seats now. The BJP and the NDA alliance, I would say, they have been dented at many places by especially the caste arithmetic which Lalu Prasad Yadav has put in place, the kind of candidates he has fielded. So he has basically tried to dent into the caste, the core caste voters of NDA. And remember, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, the Hindi heartland, is basically caste ridden. So people here actually decide on the basis of the caste. That's the unfortunate reality of this region. So Lalu Prasad Yadav understands this arithmetic very well, and he has tried to dent into it nicely, and maybe that would actually bring down the numbers of NDA. That is what I can see from now.
All right. Well, seats in Central and North Bihar going to the polls today. What's the bigger picture? Prabhakar has just broken that down for us. But with that, we're going to slip into a very short break. Tanima, we'll focus on Anantnag, where we saw a bit of chaos earlier. So we'll get a word in from Nazeer on the other side of a short break on what's happening there.